I'm standing by it. I'm going to keep investing. If you have been following me on this channel, you are learning that this is the third series in understanding NIO. Look, my name is Nathaniel Cradle. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. This is Finding New Money.
Woke up and just felt right. Phone blown like a tailpipe. Today's schedule airtight. I turn a short day into a long night. See you soon if you got the heart. Meet you outside Rennie Park. Hurry up if it's getting dark. Won't say much and that says a lot. Hop into that old Benz. Drive through that road ends.
Look, today in this final series, I just wanted to be able to sit down with you all and just kind of recap everything that we've went over. When we talked about NIO in our first series, we learned everything there was to learn about the CEO, from his challenges of childhood, growing up, just kind of being very accelerated in college as well, ending up with a few degrees when he graduated from college, all the way up to the juggernaut CEO who he is right now. And then what we've also learned is just more about the financials of the company. What strategies and techniques do I use to evaluate a company? From looking at the balance sheet all the way to the P&Ls, to trying to do some future assessments as well. Now, I understand it's very, very hard to catch a bottom to a stock, to understand what the highs are going to be. But the calculations that we use, you can actually make an cut that out. You can actually make an educated guess as to where the company is going, just simply based off of, now that you understand who the CEO is and what drives their passion in this company, all the way to the balance sheet and understanding what strengths this company has financially. So today, third series, excited. We are going to go over now what's in the news. Now, it takes time, so I want you to understand that it definitely takes patience when you're evaluating a company. There are 3 steps. 1, to understand the CEO and their team that surrounds them. 2, to understand the financials and what those could look like in the future just based off of past results. And then finally, 3, understanding what the news is saying. What's the buzz around this company? What makes the media or the people who are following this company so close, why are they excited? Do they know something that you don't know? So read, jump light years ahead of the competition, read and find out what they understand. So now you understand. So we're going to do our final walkthrough of this company before you should feel comfortable making an educated financial decision and investment into any company you're looking at, not just NIO. It really doesn't matter what company it is. I just want you all to feel comfortable investing. All right, so let's take a look. China moles mandating 60% electric car sales. So like we mentioned earlier, China's goal is to make sure that there is a big push for EV sales. So let's just take a close look right here. So China is requiring that 60% of auto sales be electric cars by 2035. A big increase, even just after slashing EV subsidies. So what does that mean? What are these subsidies? So let's use America, for instance, all right, the US. When these electric vehicles became really popular, the government said, look, we're going to give some incentives for people to literally leave their ICE vehicles, their internal combustion engine vehicles, and switch over to something that's more sustainable. It's great for our planet. It's good for us human beings. And that is electric vehicles. So here's some incentives. So if you purchase a car between 2018 and 2020, you'll get a $5,000 incentive tax increase. Now that's just an example, but that's what I mean by these subsidies. So China has these subsidies as well, but these subsidies are slowly but surely leaving. Now, stick around closer to the end. I've got some great news when it comes to subsidies, because there has been a huge announcement in terms of where we are going with gaining some traction with electric vehicles. So recently, Goldman Sachs came out and said, we're not filling NIO. In fact, we're gonna give them a price target of $7.70. This was trash, and luckily nobody believed it. The analysts are not always right, but what I want you to get used to is doing your own research. And that just means simply, we have the web at our disposal. So this means that we have worldwide access to understanding what changes are going on just around the world. So do a search on companies that you're interested in. And again, always understand who the CEO is. So here it is. So we've got the Analyst also upped their 12-month target on NIO's American depository receipts to $59 from $7.70. That is ridiculous. So Goldman Sachs said, look, we're going to change our opinion on this company because we see some huge upside, and the buyers in this stock, they are not changing their stance on this. So we think that we need to take a closer look into this company and what is making it successful. So today, December 2nd, NIO closed at $47.98. Now, we see here that this price target is $59, and this is just from Goldman Sachs. Now, it could go higher, it could be lower, who knows? But I am a buyer of this company, and I will continue to buy shares of this company because I believe in William Lee's vision to dominate the Chinese market with electric vehicles. And I am going to continue to buy these shares because I believe that there's going to be more upside. So let's continue our research. Now, depending on what city you're in, I'll tell you this, when we were at the peak of COVID, March and April, I was actually able to look towards our downtown and see clearly. I was able to see the mountains. I'm in Denver, so I was able to see the mountains clearly from where I stood. And I wasn't able to do that last year or the year before then, just simply because of emissions and the smog. But since when COVID hit, the smog subsided, right? People weren't driving their cars as much. CO2 emissions just wasn't as prevalent as it was. So this is what the Chinese market, and I'm sure many markets across the lands, are considering. We have to make sure that we reduce our CO2 emissions, and there is one quick way of doing this, and that is to push electric vehicles. So let's just take a really, really close look here. So Frank Pan mentions, as CO2 emissions are inherent to internal combustion engine vehicles, electric vehicles are widely considered to be the logical alternative towards realizing zero emissions. That's huge. So we know that there's going to continuously be a push for these electric vehicles to take over the market. And when we're talking about two strong companies here, right? Both Tesla and NIO taking charge and responsibility for ensuring that these governmental agencies can actually reach their goals of getting down to zero emissions, that's a clear winner for me. That's a clear choice for me. Let's take another look. Oh yeah, here's that news I was talking about. This is huge. I don't know how much you guys follow politics, but there are a lot of answers in politics as well. Let's take a close look at this. Biden has already outlined a plan that will replenish money for a tax credit. Now, these are those subsidies that we were talking about that gives consumers $7,500, sound familiar, for buying an electric vehicle. And he wants to build 500,000 charging stations across the US. That will help not only GM, but Tesla as well. So I know that this isn't NIO, and I know we're not talking China, but just to give you context as to how this is looking at a global issue and a global solution, which is why I'm going to continuously buy into both Tesla and NIO. Tesla's a little expensive for most, and that's why NIO is a great alternative to get in at a very early stage and let this thing ride out. Now remember, those dips that we've seen just throughout the month, those are normal. I look at it as consolidation. Some analysts may look at it as, hey, it's losing value. Not the case at all. I love consolidation because it gives me enough time to build cash, to gather cash from wherever I need it and invest it into the market. So we're at a great inflection point to where we're able to see consolidation, invest, and gain in value. Look, I am so excited for those that are getting into the stock market. It may not be NIO. I don't know what companies that you're interested in. Leave those comments below. But nonetheless, you should be happy that you're even thinking about investing into the market, 1xing, 2xing, 3xing your cash into something that's going to build you some substantial wealth in the very near future. Any questions that you guys have, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like this, as it really helps the channel out, and it kind of gives me some clarity as to what type of content you guys are looking for as well. But until next time, thanks for finding new money.
Woke up and just felt right. Phone blown like a tailpipe. Today's schedule airtight. I turn a short day into a long night. See you soon if you got the heart. Meet you outside Rennie Park. Hurry up if it's getting dark. Won't say much and that says a lot. Hop into that old Benz. Drive through.